When we started Parkable, one of our co-founders, who's a voracious salesman, was sitting on the bus and pitching Parkables. By the end of the bus ride, this guy was like, I want to invest $50,000. And it turned out he was a lovely guy, but not an investor. He just was so wound up in the hype of what was going on. But I always laugh about the fact that one of our biggest investors at the time could have been literally a random stranger on a bus that Warwick had pitched the concept to. Moving from the role of investor into founder, when you're capital raising, you have this firm conviction that your idea is amazing, and so it takes a little bit to sort of adjust and realise that maybe our idea is not for everyone. Our first round of investment, I must have had 300 conversations across 100 different individual investors, and we raised the princely sum of $155,000, which is not very much money. And it was an awful lot of work for not very much money, and what I thought was a relatively refined proposition, and what I thought was a relatively refined pitch deck and process, having seen hundreds of these things before, and made me sort of question everything I knew about early stage investment. But now we're far more deliberate, we're far faster. I'm harder in my conversations with investors. They're either interested or they're not, and if they're not, we move on very, very quickly. We moved from a very early stage, I've got an idea, angel investors, early seed investors, through to now we're getting into far more sophisticated investors. They get it. The profile of our business has changed, so now we're a growth business where we're scaling up as opposed to being an early stage business. Our revenue is growing really strongly, and quite frankly, that's the single biggest thing that investors care about. And because we can demonstrate that and we can point to hard facts, proven track record, it means the investment conversations are faster. It means that our story is much more credible. It means the decisions are made much more quickly, and I can introduce urgency into a round. I guess the advice would be twofold. One would be for founders who are looking to raise money, stick with it, practice your pitch to everyone, because you never know when the next investor might come through. Lean on relationships, so people who you know who might be connected with investors, lean on them, follow them up. They're not going to follow up on your behalf. From the investor side, I would say be fast in your decisions, be honest but gentle. There's a lot of investors out there who don't want to say no, so they drag it on and on and on, and that's bad. You're better off to hear no out front and then justify it, say why. Some of the best investors I've met didn't invest in us, but they said no, and they said precisely why, and that allowed us to improve our pitch and proposition and or target our investors more carefully.